Know it all or learn it. These behavioral adaptations, are they known by animals just when they were born, or they learn these behaviors or actions? Let's see. A behavior is anything an organism or a living thing does. So a behavior is an action, is something that's being done by organism or a living thing. Learned behaviors are behaviors that come from watching others or other animals or through experience. So living things learn these learned behaviors by looking or observing other living things or other animals, or by experience, just like us. Let's imagine that I want to learn football. Am I going to be an expert in football from the first time? Of course not. I need to learn it and be experienced with it, okay? Or I can watch football players on TV, how they play football, and learn from them. Young animals learn how to behave by watching and copying adults. Just like us when we are babies, we observe our parents and their actions so we can learn how to act or behave. An instinct is a behavior that an animal knows without learning it. So instinct is a behavior or an action that a living thing does without being learned. He doesn't or she doesn't learn this behavior, just like us. Once we are born out of our mom's bodies, we know how to breathe. Nobody comes to us and teaches us how to breathe. It's something that we just know. So breathing is an instinct. Animals are born with instincts, just like us people, we are born with some instincts. Behaviors are adaptations that may help an animal survive its environment. We breathe so we can survive or stay alive. And animals have behavioral adaptations. These adaptations, their main job is to help these animals or living things survive or stay alive. A mother lion teaches her cubs to hunt. So cubs or baby lions do not know how to hunt. Their mom teaches them how to. But searching for food is an instinct. These baby lions or cubs know that they need to search for food. They know that they don't just sit and the food comes to them. No, they know that they have to go and look for food, but they don't know how. So this is the job of the mother lion, to teach them how to hunt. Knowing how to find and catch food is something cubs learn by copying their parents. As you can see here, there is a deer. This is a cub, a baby lion, and this is a lioness, the mother lion. Here, the mother lion is wounding or hurting the deer, so the cub can go and hunt it. As you can see here, the lioness is cheering for the cub to go and run after the deer. And eventually, there was a success. The cub was able to catch the deer by the help of his mom. So the lioness is showing the cub how to catch the deer after being wounded. A mother sea turtle buries her eggs in the sand. When the baby turtles hatch at night, they move toward the bright ocean. Both behaviors are instinct. So here, the mommy sea turtle is burying her eggs in the sand, in the sandy beach. Nobody told the sea turtle to go and bury her eggs there. This is an instinct, because even though the sea turtle lays like hundreds of eggs, not all these eggs stay alive, because some get eaten by crabs, by some other sea animals, or people can break them or throw them or take them, steal them. So out of these hundreds or thousands of eggs, only few will survive. That's why sea turtle, in her instinct, she buries her eggs in the sand. But once these eggs hatch, you can see the baby sea turtles are going alone to the sea. Nobody's teaching them or telling them what to do. They just know that they have to do that. Other instincts. Spiders spinning their webs. Nobody went to the spider and told him or taught him how to weave his web or spin his web. No, it's an instinct, and the spiders are born with this instinct. Moths using moonlight to find their way. This kind of butterflies, knows the way or knows where to go and how to fly according to the moon. Nobody taught her, there's no teacher that teaches the moth how to fly or where to fly or to follow the moonlight. No, it's only an instinct. For some birds, singing is an instinct. They're just born with this singing habit or singing behavior. Some birds learn their songs from other birds. This is a cowbird. This cowbird is sitting next to another bird that instinctively sings. The cowbird is learning how to sing or mimicking the song of the other bird. So here, this bird is instinctively singing without being learned. This bird is learning from the other bird how to sing. So this is learned behavior, and this is an instinct behavior. Okay, now, why do animals behave in certain ways? They behave in certain ways first to find food. Let's talk more about this. Every animal looks for food when it's or they're hungry. This is an instinctual behavior, just like the cub. The cubs, they look for food because they know that they're hungry and they need to eat. So this is instinctual. Some animals learn from watching their parents or other adults. But some animals can learn by themselves too. This is the example I gave you at the beginning of our lesson. Learning how to play football. I can watch and do it myself, or I can practice it myself. Bears wait for fish to swim upstream to catch them. This is a learned behavior. So here are the bears. They're waiting for the fish to swim upstream so they can catch them. This is a behavior they know with themselves or they experience it themselves. The other reason why animals behave in certain ways is to find shelter. Birds learn to build nests on buildings when trees are cut down. Okay, so birds, they know how to build their nests on trees. What if these trees were cut down? This is the bird's job to learn how to build their nests on buildings. Like here, these birds, they just learned by practicing how to build their nests on buildings, because this is a different thing from building them on trees. A gopher knows to use its claws to dig into the ground to make a shelter for itself. This is the gopher, okay? And it just knows how to dig inside or under the ground to make their shelter. Shelter means house. Now let's talk about hibernation. Hibernation is a behavior. This behavior or action is for adaptation, okay? Animals respond to cold winter weather in different ways. So, in order for the animals to live in the winter and be able to survive the winter season, they behave in certain ways. Some animals find food or eat food they have hidden, like ants. They prepare all summer and all autumn season to gather and collect their food and store them. So when winter comes, they're able to eat without going outside in the rainy and cold weather to find their food. Other animals hibernate. What's the meaning of hibernate? It's to go into a deep sleep-like state. So it's not actually sleeping, it's a sleep-like behavior that helps them survive the cold winter conditions. Hibernating is an instinctive behavior, okay? They do not learn how to hibernate, they just do it. During hibernation, normal body activities slow down. So all of our activities slow down, like breathing, like our heartbeats, like our movements. All of these basic activities of our bodies, they just slow down. So the heartbeats go slowly or slow, and breathing almost stops. So the animals almost look like dead animals. A hibernating animal doesn't use much energy because the body is barely working. There is enough fat stored in the animal's body to keep it alive through the winter. So they eat, they store food in their bodies, so when they're hibernating, they don't feel hungry and they don't lose the energy they stored. We hibernate during winter. So bears hibernate during winter. squirrels and chipmunks. So bears, hedgehogs, squirrels, mice, prairie dog, bats, snakes, groundhog, and skunks. All of these animals hibernate in winter so they can stay alive. Migration. Migration is another instinctual behavior. Animals do not learn how to migrate. They just know that during winter they have to hibernate. Let's learn more about hibernation. Animals migrate when they move a long distance as a group from one region to another and back again. So let's take an example, birds or pigeons. They go as a group because migration is a very long distance. It's not like a trip or a road trip that takes only half an hour. It might take days and weeks or months sometimes. So they gather themselves and they go travel from one place to another during the winter, and then they go back to their initial place. Many animals, including birds and fish, migrate. The path the animals take is learned. So the path or the way or the directions, they are learned from the adults. But knowing when to migrate is an instinct. They just know in their bodies that it's time to migrate. Okay? So the baby animals learn from their parents. They follow their parents to know where to go or from which way to go. Whales and some other animals teach their young the way to go. So whales, they teach their babies where to go. Whales swim to a warm place to mate or to breed. Females go to find males. So the female whales, they go from a place to another to mate. Whales swim to a different spot to give birth. So here's spot 1. It's starting to get so cold, so the females and the babies go to another place to mate, to find the males and make babies there. Then they migrate to another spot to give birth. Then they swim back to where they were to find food. So they go back again to the starting point when it gets warmer. We migrate. These birds migrate and these whales migrate. Whales' migration route, the way, where do they go? This is the world map. You can see here, feeding grounds. The blue spots are the places they go to eat. Breeding grounds is where they go to make babies. Migration routes, these are the ways they go, travel from this place to this place. Some whales travel from these blue spots to these pink spots. The same here, they go from blue to pink, blue to pink. Okay, let's go to the summary now. First, behaviors are adaptations that may help an animal survive its environment. This is why behave in certain ways, so they can adapt with their environment. There are two kinds of behaviors. One is learned behavior, and the second one is instinct behavior. Learned behaviors are behaviors that come from watching other animals or through experience. An instinct is a behavior that an animal knows without learning it. Animals respond to cold winter weather in different ways. Some hibernate, but others migrate. Hibernation, to go into a deep sleep-like state that helps the animals survive the cold winter conditions. And finally, migrate is to move a long distance as a group from one region to another and back again. There you go. This is our lesson. I hope it was easy. You can always go back through the previous slides. See you again soon.